I don't think
So they get
You do
all,
need to sign.
they get all
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Collins.
Here.
Blue.
Here.
Contos. Van.
Here.
Amstutz. Buxton.
Here.
Right. Everyone received the council minutes from meeting on September 2nd. Any amendments to those? Hearing none, minutes stand as approved. There was a special council meeting on September 8th. Minutes were also attached for that. Any amendments to those minutes? Hearing none, minutes stand as approved. Takes us to public speak. Sue.
Yes, two things. I noticed Councilman Amstutz isn't here. He was sick, I believe, last meeting.
Yeah.
Is he excused again tonight?
Yes, he is excused. He made me aware this morning that he has conflict with work today that he cannot miss. So, yeah, he did tell me in advance that he would not be here.
Is safety going to be here tonight?
Safety, I spoke with the chief just shortly before coming in, about 30 minutes before. He should be here, yeah.
Well, I'll ask you anyhow. I saw on Jordan Miller's news that that animal abuser was arrested again, and it said an East Canton man. I understand he's gone from that house on Worley. Is he still in the city, the village, the township? Do we know?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, I think that they reference East Canton because that's where his address was before. I don't want to speak too much to particularly the case, but what I will say is I don't believe he ever left the jail. So, or they may say that he's an East Canton man because that's where his address was previously, but he wasn't in East Canton when he was arrested, charged again.
Okay.
So,
Does our police department have any legal right, jurisdiction, or capability if he is in the village or city to go visit that man and let him know that everybody's aware, they're aware that he's being watched?
I think that, there's a certain line that you have to hold there. You don't want to look like you're or give the appearance that you're like harassing or targeting. I think before said individual would be released, I would almost be certain there'd be stipulations on where that person could reside. I don't want to speak for the case. It's still an open case. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that, but I don't think it would be something that would be done without public awareness. I'll just put it that way.
Well, if Jordan Miller was correct, if he's still in jail and was arrested again for animal abuse, there's a problem over at the jail.
So what could happen is sometimes a case is being investigated after the fact, right? So something could have happened 1 year ago, for instance, and new evidence comes to light, and the PD is actively investigating that, and then they realize that they have enough to charge. They go to the prosecutor. The prosecutor agrees. Charges are filed for something that could have happened a set period of time ago. As long as it's within that statute of limitations, charges can be filed. Later on, I should say.
The article's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, it sounds like it was again, and it sounds like he was sentenced to 360 months or days, 360 days, and they were all rescinded due to time served.
Yeah, I like I said, I can't speak too much on that previous case, but I will say that the current case that's pending, we'll see how that progresses. I have to rely on the judges that pass down sentences. I don't want to second guess that, but I think that there's still an active case, and we'll see how that case progresses. That's what I would recommend that we do.
And I understand what you're allowed to say and not say, but I just makes me sick to think that he's anywhere near us. Not me, us, my house,
Right.
The area.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Ms. Riggs, you're here for discussion on grants, I believe.
Correct.
All right, Ms. Donatello.
Yes. I would like 2 minutes of your time for public speaks, if I could.
Absolutely.
I'm here with on behalf of the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I'm the CFO and business manager. We are going to be on the ballot in November, so I just want to read a short overview. Do you need my address or anything like that?
I don't think we need the address, no.
Okay.
No, we have to sign in.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for giving me this 2 minutes. I want to share the vital work of the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities, work that touches the lives of over 5,000 individuals across our county, including about 65 residents right here in East Canton. Our mission is simple but powerful: to support people with developmental disabilities and their families. Every year, we support 700 families with infants who have disabilities, meeting them in their homes, offering guidance and hope from the very beginning. We educate 160 students with complex needs through specialized preschool and school-age programs. We fund services for more than 1,900 individuals, helping them live, work, and thrive in our communities. The commitment we make is for a lifetime. We are not just a funder, we are life planners, advocates, and watchdogs. We collaborate with 200 private agencies and 200 independent providers, ensuring quality and accountability, working closely with the Stark County Sheriff's Office and local police to investigate abuse and neglect, safeguarding health and safety of those we serve. We want you to know our name, Stark DD, and to think of us when you meet a neighbor, a friend, a constituent who needs support. We are a trusted partner to thousands of families throughout our county. We provide lifelong, high-quality services to a growing population, serving 43% more people than we did 10 years ago. And while our commitment has grown, so have our costs, up 140% over those 10 years. Our goal is not just a good life for people with developmental disabilities, but a great one. And we're working hand in hand with communities across Stark County, including East Canton, to make that vision real. This November, issue 1 will be on the ballot. Its passage is critical. Without it, we face painful cuts to the services that thousands rely on, and we ask for your support, both individually and collectively, to protect these vital programs. I want to now thank you for your time, your leadership, and your continued service to our community. Thank you.
Any questions from council?
I walked in late, I'm sorry. So it's issue number 1, yes
Issue
on
one.
1.
Yes.
I may have missed it, but so is this a renewal plus increase?
I was here just a couple years ago,
Yeah.
if you remember.
Great.
That was our renewal.
Okay,
Due to changes within our system, this is a new
okay. So is this on top of the existing?
on top of the
Okay.
existing.
And how much is it? You know?
1.6 mils,
Okay,
and there will be things mailed out. You'll start seeing signs.
Yeah.
But it's $56 annually for a homeowner that has a market value of $100,000.
Is there any, is this a standalone? This is the only issue on issue 1?
This is the only countywide issue.
Okay. But your issue 1 is
Issue
not
1,
written with a bunch of other things. It's just this.
just this one, yes.
very good. Any other questions?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Might see you guys again. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Riggs has came in on her own time. I don't know if council wants to consider having grants before service tonight to
Fine with me.
it's up to council. I don't want to.
Well, that way if she wants to go home, she can.
Right, absolutely. All right.
Okay. Mr. Griggs has been working diligently behind the scenes, helping me get things squared away here. And what I would like to do is have the council consider making her our official grant writer for this project. So at this time, if any of the council members have any questions that they'd like to ask Ms. Riggs, I will open the floor to them.
So with the project itself, I think that's a matter of what we have to figure out as far as, are we doing like an hourly? Are we doing like per grant?
Per grant,
So it's a per grant,
per grant.
a fee that way.
There will be a set fee, there will be a contract that you, that we would agree on for the price and for my services. And it will include exactly in that grant what it would cover. So for writing the grant and submitting the grant is gonna be a flat fee, and that's it. Anything after that, if the grant is awarded, there may be, and I don't know, it depends on how it goes, the paperwork that follows that grant, there may be a separate fee for that. I have to see what the grant will allow and what the grant won't allow. Sometimes they allow grant writer fees in it, and sometimes they don't. Which if they don't, like I said, I'll have to see how that goes. But there will be a regular flat fee for writing and submission of this grant.
Do you have anything in mind that you had kind of drawn up at this point, or is this just open for discussion?
It is open for discussion for this particular grant. It is a federal grant. So it is going to go to the senator and to the representative. So it will go to Raleigh and Houston for both of them. But it's going to be one fee because the grant is basically combining two for the price of one. And I am looking at my fee for that will probably be about $1,200. That's for the writing and submission of it.
This is for a water line project.
Yes.
Services that we
Yes.
talked about.
Yeah.
So is this per phase we're looking at? I'm assuming
Well-
since we're going to do one step at a time.
Well, okay. I have been doing some research. I looked at Ruli's, his website and found out what kind of projects he supports. He has supported just this for fiscal year 26. He has supported water line replacement projects, which I thought, excellent. That's what I wanted to see. There were, Houston also had a couple projects, but really, he stuck out. Caddis is doing a phase 3 water system improvements for nearly $1.2 million. SIO has been approved for a water line replacement for $500,000. And there were a couple others. Wellsville is doing a ground storage tank replacement. Those were just the ones that kind of popped up on the website. They're very open about what they supported and what they don't, and how much. Okay. Houston, he had for the Lorain County Board of Commissions, he had a $10 million approval for a critical sewer extension and regional wastewater treatment facility. He also had Coldwater Creek Foundation for improvement of the water quality for $620,000. So there's numbers that are all over the place. I called Ruli's office today just to check to see if this was even going to be a grant for next year, congressional direct spending. They could not give me a direct answer. They believe it's going to carry on, but they're not positive. That's the only downside to this, is if they don't do this grant next year. That's the one downside. If they do continue it, then there's a good chance, you have a good chance of getting it funded. And the reason why I say that is because after I called, 20 minutes later, I got a call back from the office and said, "We're going to be in Canton tomorrow. Would you like to meet with us?" I said, "Absolutely." So they have a time between 12 and 1 tomorrow. They would like to meet here. Any of you are welcome to join us to ask questions about this grant. That is very encouraging to me, because to have someone on your side this early in the game for next year is huge, especially for a federal grant.
Now, is this one of the grants that we were talking about that we had to, that was like a matching or a contribution as far as that goes?
He said that there may be matching to it. Don't know exactly what the match will be. That goes the last time I did this, last few I've done on this, it depended on the population. It went by population. So I also asked if it was going to go through USDA, and they could not answer that question either. So tomorrow I'm hoping to get some of these questions answered
from them.
And then at that time to advertise it, so you gotta keep the numbers down.
That's us, Council President Baloo about, we don't want any violations of the sunshine, so we just gotta keep the,
We were kind of wondering, as far as what we should even seek out for the size and scope of a grant. You know, that you mentioned a lot of different,
Mhm.
and we were going about, we kind of identified a system of, if we were to get money, we would like to upgrade and improve our water system, replace old pipe. But the question lies is, well, you could say, you know, should we ask for a grant for this much? For this much? You know, dollar amount. It would be, the question is, you know, there's separate phases like you brought out.
Yes.
So what size of a phase should we be looking at for 1, 2, and 3? You know, like, or just the first one?
That can go two different ways. You can look at it as, you need this much money.
Yeah.
If you only ask for this much,
That's all you're getting.
you're not gonna get this much,
Right.
okay?
The percentage matching is another thing. We're not wanting to stick our
That was
neck
gonna be my other,
out too far here, but
because if you ask for this much and you don't have
this much.
that much to
Yeah.
go with
Yeah.
it, then you have to break it up.
Yeah.
Okay? The question I want to ask them tomorrow is, if this has to go in 3 phases, will you support all 3 phases? Do we have to reapply each year for the second and third phase? And if so, we need to know where that's going to go.
Well,
We don't want to do phase 1 and then be stuck with nothing.
right. And you said it's not a certainty that this grant will even be solvent for the next 2-3 years. They don't know for sure.
We don't know, and I'll tell you why, is because when they first had this was when 2021, Biden had taken office, and he was the one, basically was under his leadership that this was put into place.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not about political, okay, but I do know that these projects, and they're very transparent on all their websites, the congressionally directed spending as a whole is less than 1% of the budget for the country, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't see it being cut. That's my personal opinion, because it's such a small amount.
Boy, it'd be nice if it was a bigger amount, wouldn't it?
It would be.
It makes sense to me.
It would be. It would be very nice. The other thing is, you may ask for this much, you may only get approved this much.
Right.
They have every right to reduce,
Yeah.
and I've had that problem. I had that problem in my first and third year of writing them.
Yeah.
The first year was, I wrote 7, 5 were actually made it to the next level to get approved. Of those 5, 2 of them did not receive near enough money to even start their project, because they were reduced so drastically, they couldn't do anything with it. And I'll give you an example. One of them was for an aerial ladder fire truck,
Yeah.
which is over $1 million.
Yeah.
And they were awarded $179,000. I said, what are they supposed to do with $179,000? That's nothing. When you need $1 million, it's nothing. So they couldn't do anything with it. The second year I wrote 1, it was awarded. They're actually, it was for a new fire station, and they broke ground in July. So that is another downside of it, where sometimes the paperwork pushes you back a year or 2 just to get through all their paperwork. I don't know what kind of paperwork would be involved with this.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but
Well, we were just talking about just the time there would be behind the engineering of, we would have to get blueprints
yes,
produced to show, which takes time.
it does take time. So you do have time, because
This grant will not come about, and that was the other thing he mentioned on the phone. They're gonna send me more information as it gets closer to the time. This will come out around February, like the end of February, beginning of March, to be written, okay? And I've written them within a week before and within the due date, so.
Is that feasible, Kurt?
What's that?
She's saying that we wouldn't have to have a full set of workable plans, February, March.
Well, we'd have to figure out who we're gonna have do it.
Yeah, but I
Have to
mean,
come up with a scope like we had talked about. We'll come up with a scope, put it out for bids with several engineering firms.
you
see what
said
they
this
come back.
November wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it won't happen in November.
February, March.
Probably.
If you have a scope of the project, you don't have to nail down the exact person who's going to do the project.
No.
Because you'll have to put out bids anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, to comply with their rules.
We're just talking about
but
getting
for-
engineering paid for
Yes,
and
for writing
completed through them.
okay, so once it gets written, then it has to go through Congress. It has to be passed by both the House and the Senate, which usually happens around the summer. They have to have it, they're supposed to have it done no later than August because it has to go to the president's desk by September. Okay, so you're talking 9 months from there. So a year from now, you would see whether or not for sure if it's approved and signed, once it gets signed by the president. Once it gets signed by the president, then we'll be contacted again as to whoever is going to, what I want to say, if it's USDA that's going to be running it, then USDA will contact us and say, okay, here's your next paperwork. This is what you need to do.
Now, in the off chance that this grant doesn't do what we want it to do, are there other grants out there that we might be able to keep in our back pocket to,
There could be some state funding. It won't be near as much, I can tell you that, but there's always a possibility of some state funding. You can also take state funding and pair it with the federal funding to help meet your match.
Okay.
I do have one station that's doing that right now. They needed $1 million to complete their project. They were able to get it through the state.
And federal.
And federal. You could put federal and state together, but you cannot put federal and federal together.
That's the number though, less than 1% of our budget is this kind of stuff. Wow.
Yes, when I look at all these numbers and I see 10 million here, 14 million here, and all across the US with all the senators and representatives, but anytime you pull up one of their sites and look at the projects that they supported, and yet it's all less than 1% of the budget.
can you imagine balancing that checkbook?
They don't. Yeah, they don't.
But it sounds like you've done a lot of work. I know you spent some time with Councilman Blue as well. So I mean, I want to thank you for that, for one. And we need all the help that we can get when we're looking for grants and trying to improve our infrastructure for sure. I don't think the fee that you're asking for is out of line. I know we'll get the opinion from everybody else as well, but I appreciate all of what you've done so far, for sure.
Get a contract, let's get moving.
Make a motion. Somebody make a motion.
I'll move. Motion to, what are we motioning here? To. I'll second you.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to have Miss Donna Riggs be our official grant writer for this water line replacement project.
With a cost of up to $1,200 grant writing fee. We need to specify that.
Yes. Up to
Oh.
For grant writing and submission of
And
grant.
submission, yeah.
Okay, with the fee not to exceed $1,200 for grant writing and submission.
Second.
All right, roll call, Colin.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Dan.
Yes.
Buster.
Yay.
Very good.
Seems
About that, we get an official draft. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I have sent out to everybody a list of names of people that we need to get referral letters from, support letters from. A lot of them are sitting at this table here. I've also sent out examples of the letters that I'm going to send out. But we also need to get our engineering costs put in there and a few other things before we can actually do that. And as Ms. Riggs has already told me, to go and ask for support or a reference letter in person carries more weight than just simply sending them a piece of paper in the mail. So if your name is on the list or you have personal contacts with somebody on the list, I would ask that you make use of your ties with them to get a letter from them. And I've also sent out some examples of what their response letter, what their letter of support should be kind of framed like as well. And the main thing is to have their official letterhead on top of it. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Donna.
You're welcome.
All right, takes us to service.
The roads, Blacktop of Leapers Alley will be completed by the end of this week, possibly start tomorrow. All salt has been delivered for this year, 200 tons. Trimmed trees around town that have been hanging the right of way of the road, swept downtown and filled some potholes. Under park playground bridge issue, I've called and talked to the playground equipment people, and we should have an answer tomorrow if they'd be able to get the parts and pieces that we need to just block that off. Hopefully it's pretty quick, because we put caution tape up like I told you last meeting, it just gets tore down. We take pictures of it every time we put it up, so try to cover our butts that one. The new urinals and toilets have been installed in the restrooms at the park. Everything seems to be working all right. There's one in the men's restrooms leaking around the bottom of the bowl on the floor, so I called them up. They're supposed to come and take a look at that. Other than that, it's pretty good. Under zoning, I did write one permit for a building permit. And I put this under zoning, was technically not zoning. I talked with Phil about putting that map together, Mr. Blue, that we were talking about down there. And off the water point app on my iPad. What we're gonna do is try to come up here and put it on a TV and take pictures of that, and then maybe get it to a PDF and get that email form, and we get it out to you guys. You do what you need to do with that. But hopefully it'll be done this week also. Under other, we replaced the headlights in the 2011 GMC truck, Parks truck. Okay,
Yeah, we'll be fine.
that's all I have. Any questions?
What's the last one you said, I'm sorry?
The headlights, I replaced the headlights in the 2011 GMC truck.
Oh.
The Mark's truck.
Yeah, the park, I call it the Parks truck, but
I can't keep headlights in anything anymore.
I don't know. that
Running
really
beams
you-
burn out every 3 months. Everything.
Yeah, these went out, I don't know. I mean, 2011, you would think, well, they were aftermarket bulbs too, so they've been
Yeah.
replaced before.
Yeah.
Twice in 12, 13 years, 14
I don't
years.
know. For me, it's every 3 months. Running lights go out every 3
Hope that
months.
don't happen. Right?
Everything. They don't make good bulbs anymore. I don't know what the deal is.
Plus trying to get in there. Holy smokes, you turn the battery out, and this one with this, and take this headlight bracket out. Yeah. Is that all? Good.
Question? Thank you. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you, guys.
The chief was here. I was speaking with him earlier, so he must be out on a call with the sergeant.
Yeah, they're down, pulled someone over.
Okay.
Something going on down there.
Okay, all right. So I'll give his report. So for the last 2 weeks, they responded to 85 calls. Calls consisted of one 911 hang-up, 2 alarm drops, 1 animal complaint, 3 assist to public, 34 business checks, 1 civil standby, 1 criminal trespass, 1 harassment neighbor dispute, 3 investigating complaints, 5 investigation follow-ups, 1 motor vehicle pursuit, and 1 theft. 20 traffic offenses, 1 vandalism, and 5 vehicle accidents. 1 warrant arrest, 1 well-being check. That was the financial report. Any questions in regards to safety? As Kurt mentioned earlier, the new cruiser is about done. Documents will be sent over electronically, hopefully this week to be signed. We should be good.
When are we gonna get rid of the Vic?
I don't, no decision's been made on that just yet. But I'm sure that will come up before council to make a formal decision with the recommendation of the chief.
When you say the new vehicle is ready, is that for us to take possession, or is that, then we start getting outfitted and everything else, or is that?
That's- yeah, that's right, yeah.
The outfitted
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That's
So it's gonna
it.
be in service pretty soon. then.
Yeah.
Good.
Anything else for safety? All right, takes us to judicial.
Yeah, resolution 2025-11, resolution to purchase up to 3 sets of body armor with associated plates and Molly carriers from Red Diamond Uniform Police Supply Incorporated between June 2024 to March 2025 at a cost not to exceed $33,850 for use by members of the East Canton Police Department as needed. Be resolved by the Council of the Village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio, whereas it has come to the attention of the Village Council of East Canton that there are some members of the Village Police Department that either have outdated body armor or no body armor at all. Whereas upon recommendation of the Police Chief Chris Hartlob, that the Village of East Canton Police Department purchase up to 3 sets of body armor with associated plates and Molly carriers at a cost not to exceed $3,850 for use by members of the East Canton Police Department. Whereas the body armor, plates, and Molly carriers shall remain property of the Village of East Canton Police Department, and if any officer resigns his or her position from the Village of East Canton Police Department, he or she shall return the department-provided body armor, plates, and Molly carrier to the department for use by another officer. So,
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
yeah.
Baloo.
Yay.
Consos.
Yeah.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
We've had resolution 2025-12, a resolution to reimburse police officer Scott Pringle $400 that was deducted from his paychecks towards the purchase of body armor, plates, and Molly carrier from Red Diamond Uniform Police Supply Incorporated. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio, whereas the Village of East Canton police officers ordered 3 body armor, plates, and Molly carriers as part of the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program grant for years 23 and 24. Whereas the fiscal officer was unaware of the purchase as well as the intended reimbursement of the Village of the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program grant. Whereas the fiscal officer deducted an amount of $400 from police officer Scott Pringle's paychecks for the uniform allowance overage for the purchase of a single body armor, plates, and Molly carrier. Whereas the Council of the Village of East Canton authorized the fiscal officer to reimburse police officer Scott Pringle the $400 that was deducted from his paychecks for the uniform allowance coverage. So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yay.
Consos.
Yeah.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
We got ordinance 2025-20, an ordinance to suspend the 3.4 City of Canton 2025-2026 rate increase until the September 2025 billing cycle and waive the 2% surcharge to the base water rate charged by the Village of East Canton for the period April 1st, 2025 through the new billing rate increase from the City of Canton that becomes effective for 2026 and to declare an emergency. Be it hereby ordained by the Council of the Village of East Canton, Ohio. Section 1, Council for the Village of East Canton, Stark County, Ohio is informed that effective March 31st, 2025, the City of Canton is raising the base water rate by 3 4/10%. Section 2, Council hereby suspends and waives the 3 and 4/10 rate increase from March 31st, 2025 until September 1st, 2025. In section 3, council hereby suspends and waives the 2% Village of East Canton assessment added to the City of Canton base water rate pursuant to ordinance 2005-06, section 4 for the period April 1st, 2025 through the determination of a new billing rate from the City of Canton to become effective for calendar year 2026. Section 4 of this, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the Village of East Canton shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage at the earliest date allowable by law. Section 5, that this is found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the adoption of this ordinance were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any part of its committees that result in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further ordained, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this ordinance were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were meetings open to the public in compliance with the law. Be it further ordained, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and convenience and welfare of the Village of East Canton and shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage at the earliest date allowable by law. So,
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
Third and final reading ordinance 2025-20 by title only, an ordinance to suspend the 3.4% City of Canton 2025-2026 rate increase until the September 2025 billing cycle and waive the 2% surcharge to the base water rate charged by the Village of East Canton for the period April 1st, 2025 through the new billing rate increase from the City of Canton that becomes effective for 2026. So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
One thing for me, Henry, for 2026 and beyond, I really think we need to bring those rate increases to council whenever. So if the City of Canton didn't present that to us until August, then we have another issue. But if they are presenting them and it just wasn't picked up until now, I think
I
that's,
didn't see it till just recently, but it could be from Canton too. Well, to your point, we'll make sure we get it squared away.
yeah, I just want that communication to be clear. I mean, in my mind, it should be coming to council. They should be informing us well in advance of the effective date. The effective date was March. They should be telling us in January.
Yeah.
And that's when we should be bringing it to council. The council can make decisions. Because if council had elected not to waive that 5 months, 6 months, we would have had a lot of upset residents because they would have got a correction bill.
Backfill.
Exactly. So something I think we need to take with us as a lesson learned.
I'll talk with Patty and see who she communicates with and billing and I'll call and communicate that with them next year before they raise. They need to notify us a month in advance.
In writing. Yeah, I wanted, yeah,
They do.
okay.
They do
Okay.
notify us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else for judicial? All right, takes us to finance.
Finance, I'd like to make a motion to approve the invoices, the amount of $54,453.13, as presented by fiscal officer Geis.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Okay. Also like to make a motion to approve the payroll in the amount of $17,582.15. That's presented by fiscal officer Geis.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Yay.
All right, in the meeting packet is the permanent appropriations report, status update. Anything else for finance?
No, I don't have anything else.
Thank you, Councilman Buckman. Takes us to other, anything for other.
I have something for other. I didn't realize that the laundromat had been reopened, and I was down there doing some work clothes laundry. Got to talk to Zeta and her husband, who are employed by a young entrepreneur that's running the laundromat. And they kind of brought it to my attention that there was a meeting coming up with you, it's them and Stark County Sewer, as to the amount of money that they were going to be charging the laundromat for their use of the sewer system.
That's the first I'm hearing of.
First you're hearing of it.
Yeah.
Is it, this was just a conversation I had, the old couple working in the laundromat, but they made me aware that it sounded like since he's reopened the laundromat, they're going to reevaluate his sanitary usage bill. And they were telling me that it's to such an extent that the guy that put the money in to reopen it said, if they hit me with that high of a bill, I'm closing this laundromat because I can't afford, it's not going to fit into any business model to pay this much money. And I said, thanks for telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice if anybody's been in there since it's been reopened. I mean,
Yeah.
The sewer, isn't that part of whatever water consumption they use, or is that something completely different as far as how that's billed?
it doesn't work off of water
Doesn't
consumption.
work
I talked to
I just
the owner
thought-
called me today about that.
Yeah.
And
What'd he say?
he said that they are charging him $100 a washer.
What?
11 days
Per billing
off the
cycle.
water use.
And that is a set rate, not based on gallons used. That's what they need to change. That's the way it's written up, and that's what he's going to that meeting that you're talking about with the engineers.
When is
Try to
that?
get
Sewer bill
changed.
here.
When is that?
I didn't get a date on it, but I did
That's
want
the first I'm hearing of it.
I did want to get
They're doing.
rates off of us from water and how much he consumes and how much was consumed before he bought it.
Right.
And that way they can see how much water is actually being used and cycled through there. So I'm working with Penny to get that to him. But it is $100 per machine per billing cycle.
Per washer, per billing cycle.
Yes.
This is what makes no sense with this principle of them charging this guy this money. Now, if in principle, they're going to charge him $100 a washer, the residents of this village are going in there and using those facilities, which means they're using that much less sanitary sewer cubic feet a minute
At their house.
at their home. And I don't go to the door and punch a ticket to get a rebate on my sewer bill because I'm sending my sanitary water through his pipes and not mine. So how's come he's got to pay more?
And I think that's a big debate.
If it's the same amount of water being used, just in a different spot, they're not cutting anybody a break here.
I think that's what his big meeting's about. He didn't go into great detail, but he just said he does have a meeting. That's why he wanted to know how much water he was using per billing cycle on our end. So that's what we're working with Penny to get that done, and get that over to.
Yeah.
But it's about $1,400 a billing cycle.
I'll dig
We got
into
14
it.
washers in there.
Yeah, I'll dig in. I don't mind sitting in on that meeting.
No.
So I agree with you. Maybe that seems very excessive to me, just on the surface. Without knowing any more details than that, that seems,
Just so you know, he does have a lot of interest in the village.
yeah, he does. He and I have talked on other topics.
Yeah.
He is very committed to investing in the village, and this is someone that we want to support. So we should at least have a seat at the table and try to understand what's happening. $100 per month per washer is cost prohibitive for a small business like that, in my opinion. Not
Oh, yeah.
knowing anything else. I mean, that's a lot of money when you're talking. So
Well, if you sit in.
Does he have a new meter on that building, or?
Yes.
So that means you should be able to pull,
Every 2
you
months.
could probably pull daily meter reads for a week, couldn't you?
That bill.
I can. Plus, we just got the billing cycle and it shows how much used every 2 months on
Not
there.
every month, right?
Yeah, 2 months.
So it's like
How long have they been open?
46.
This to be there going into their third billing cycle. The first one was a partial though.
Okay.
So technically 2.5 billing cycle.
that's
Five.
4 or 5 months.
The
I think
thing
roughly
would
a
be
little less.
is if that is actually a monthly charge, or if it's a billing per bill, that'd be
Right, so
50
50 a
bucks
month
That'd be
versus
50 a
100.
month.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to, we'll get with the owner, get the dates, and then definitely share that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for other? I know Administrator Boyle has requested an executive session pursuant to ORC 121-22G1 employment. If council would like to consider entering into that session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yay.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Buxton.
Everybody's front table's fine.
Okay. Very good. 7:46.